Carolina Panthers football is being brought to you by Bank of America, the official bank of the Carolina Panthers. By Pepsi, official soft drink partner of the Panthers, and all for the Carolinas. By Autobell. Autobell is the car wash provider of the Carolina Panthers. By Bojangles, your official tailgating headquarters of the Carolina Panthers. It's bow time. By Sakrete. No matter what projects are in your lineup, Sakrete has the right concrete and masonry products for the job. Use what the pros use. Ask for Sakrete at your local home improvement store. And by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly.
Newly remodeled Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte is the venue, the occasion. Carolina Panther, Buffalo Bill preseason football. Time now for the Gatorade Heard Around the Cooler report. And with that, here's Kelly Bardick, our sideline reporter.
Thanks, Mick. You know, you and Mike spoke about the offense and defense. We can't forget about the special teams. More specifically, the trio that refers to themselves as the Bomb Squad on Twitter. Starting with kicker Graham Gano. After tweaking his back, he will not be kicking tonight, but Ron Rivera told us that having Graham on his roster is a huge asset. Last year, he was one of the best in the league at touchbacks with 63. The second member of the Bomb Squad, Brad Nortman, the Panthers punter, very important in the field position game. And last but not least, long snapper J.J. Jansen, who made it to the Pro Bowl last season. Mike and Mick, we know long snappers, they're people too.
That's right, Kelly, no doubt. This is Stoney, Dwight Stone, former Carolina Panther, one of their all-time favorite sons, hitting the keep pounding drum on the sideline. Ruck, did you play with Dwight?
I did not, but I heard he was a special teams ace. He's a great guy, though, great friend.
And a special guy. So Jordan Gay doing the kickoff and some of the point after touchdown field goal duties. And it's almost like John Daly on the driving range. It could go anywhere with Jordan Gay. He did play some soccer, went to Center College in Kentucky. Normally the punter backing up Brad Nortman, but we'll kick off tonight. Gano says he's fine, just tweaked his back lifting weights. Goodwin back deep for the Buffalo Bills. Beautiful night for football, light rain in the forecast. The approach, the kickoff, and we're underway from Bank of America Stadium. Buffalo to start at the 20 after the touchback. Let's take a look at the Miller Lite starting lineups, brought to you by Miller Lite. Clemson flavor to their specialists and skill people. Spiller and Watkins, both former Clemson Tigers. And up front, veteran offensive line. 2 first-round draft choices in that group. And the trigger man, Eric Rodriguez Manuel Jr. E.J. Manuel, 2 of 7 against the Giants last week. Spiller, middle crowded, kicks it toward the hash marks, and an explosive play in the run game to start off. 14 yards and a first down. Thomas Deku made the tackle.
It's a good start for the Buffalo Bills offense in this run game. Panthers came with the blitz, had everybody stacked, and the thing about when you come in blitz, if one hole, that running back hits it, he hits that daylight, and it could be a few yards before you get him down.
Buffalo with not going no huddle, but a quicker tempo. Once again, Spiller for 2. E.J. Manuel, first-round draft choice, 2013, the 16th overall pick from Virginia Beach, Virginia. Buffalo 6-10 a year ago, and still some questions. Manuel is athletic, but still some questions about his accuracy in the passing game. On second and long. Open receiver over the middle, grabbed by Watkins for a first down. Circus catch with a defender right there, a 15-yard pickup.
Just a cover 2, playing the run, but it sucks up the linebackers, and Kaysen allows his receiver to go into the middle, and they just dump it off. That was an easy pitch and catch for the Buffalo Bills.
Robert Lester got low to make the tackle. Sammy Watkins only played 3 years, left Clemson as their all-time leading receiver, the second leading receiver in the history of the Atlantic Coast Conference. First down near midfield. Deeper drop. And the swing pass complete to Spiller. He makes one Panther miss and then bumps out of bounds as we take a look now at the Miller Lite defensive starting lineups. And here's the way they line up for the Carolina Panthers. One of the best defensive lines in football. Alexander's had a great camp. Cole the veteran, Latulele in the middle, and Greg Hardy on the edge. Linebackers, Chase Blackburn holding off A.J. Klein for that weak side backer spot. Doesn't get any better than Keithley and Davis. And in the secondary, only one returning starter, Melvin White. On second down, a quick slant, Watkins. Wrestled down by White, short of the line to gain. White had an interception against Atlanta last year that helped secure a win, a pick six from 8 yards away. Rugged corner trying to learn the game. Third down and makeable for Buffalo in Panther territory. Spiller out, Jackson in. Crowd making some noise. Manuel to a wide open Chris Hogan into the red zone. Thomas Deku trailing, but not close enough.
Well, they see some to the right side of their formation, and they're getting a good jam, but it's just a natural pick. The routes were a natural pick. They pick off their guy and allows their receiver to have that wide open catch.
Yeah, good call, Rugg. It looked like Godfrey got hung up, and then Deku got over as fast as he could. 32-yard gain. Buffalo's in the CPI red zone. Brought to you by CPI Security Systems, the official security company of the Panthers. It's Jackson on the slice. Gets laced around the 7-yard line. Luke Keithley got his helmet and face mask in there. Buffalo in the red zone, not as good last year as they need to be. 4-yard gain, second down and 6. Keithley getting him lined up defensively. Again, Jackson. Close. Will have the first down, not the touchdown. Jackson from out of Coe College. He is a pro's pro. Coach Ron Rivera not happy with how his defense is getting manhandled so far, Ruck.
Well, no, this isn't the way that you kind of want to start your preseason game. There's been a couple of long passes and some pick routes that they've got caught on. But here's where they got to bow up and they got to be strong and keep this Buffalo Bills out of the offense, out of the end zone.
Third and very short. Hardy got to Jackson very quickly. Jackson might have surged forward just enough for the first down. Buffalo's got some read option in their package, but what a great job by Hardy getting off the edge and making a difference.
Yeah, Greg Hardy just threw his guy to the ground and came off the edge, and I think he might have saved this from being a first down on that play.
Exactly. By about half the length of the football. This is the preseason. Why not go for it?
Well, this is, both sides are looking at, hey, if we are in the regular season, what are the plays that we can work on in the preseason where it doesn't count that we can count on during the season? This is an attitude area for the offense and defensive line. This is where you get paid the big bucks. It's either move the defensive line or the defensive line get in the backfield.
Here we go, fourth down and inches. Jackson, close. Chase Blackburn jacked his jaw. Don't think he made it. Blackburn got some penetration. KK Short, Hardy, and Latulele all in there.
This was a defensive manhandle. We talk about attitude. Look at the offensive line get jacked up by this Panther defensive line. This is a straight attitude play right here, and to deny them into the end zone.
One more bit of drama, though, before Panther fans can celebrate. The spot not that favorable, but favorable enough. Doug Marrone, the head coach of Buffalo, Ron Rivera of the Panthers. With that, we take a break. Carolina will take over backed up deep as the Buffalo Bills and the Carolina Panthers are scoreless in Uptown Charlotte. Game brought to you by the North Carolina Education Lottery. Mike Rucker, what are you rolling with tonight?
Well, E.J. Manuel's completion percentage needs to be better, and they need to get C.J. Spiller returning back to his 2012 All-Pro form. For the Carolina Panthers, it's the offensive line being consistent. With Jordan Gross and Wharton gone, they need this offensive line to gel quickly. Who is going to fill the backside to protect Cam Newton?
Keys presented by the North Carolina Education Lottery. Anytime can be jackpot time with the new scratch-off tickets from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Derek Anderson with Kenyon Barner, the tail of the eye. Panthers poor field position and give it to the first man through. Mike Tolbert pokes his head into a small hole. Our Miller Lite starting lineup brought to you by Miller Lite. Wide receiving core totally remade this year. Greg Olsen is the dependable one. Benjamin has been impressive as a rookie at training camp. Mike Tolbert's cut weight and has looked good up front. Ryan Khalil is steady as can be, but Silatolu's been hurt. Trey Turner is a rookie. Chandler playing right tackle. He was a defensive lineman 2 years ago, and then Byron Bell moving over from right tackle to left tackle. Line and balance to the near side. Tolbert banged down after a yard. Defensively for Buffalo, they're ball hawkers, and the two Williamses, Mario and Kyle, they are steady and country strong. Darius also a good player. Jerry Hughes on the outside. Linebackers River, Spikes, and Bradham. And in the back end for Buffalo, 23 picks a year ago, second most in the NFL. Gilmore, the Rock Hill, South Carolina product. No score, third and long. Twist stunt on. Anderson to Benjamin, almost a circus catch, just incomplete.
You know, this offensive line is going to get a great test by this defensive line. They pick up the twist game pretty good on the right side. Give Derek Anderson the time. Just a little bit off on his throw for Benjamin.
Corey Graham defending. Anderson, Ruck, to your point, I think threw to the right guy just errantly because of the pressure. So Nortman to punt. Roby back deep. Suboptimal punt by Nortman. And Roby tattooed at the 32. 47 on the punt and 15 on the run back.
Yeah, this special team is going to be big today.
Buffalo on offense with good field position when we come back after this word from your local Panthers station. Hardick on the sideline. Buffalo 0, Carolina nothing. And our sweet tweets are brought to you by Krispy Kreme. Carly Jasinski says she doesn't even care that it's the preseason. She's ready to see Luke on her TV again. And Carly, we're right with you on that. When the Panthers win, you win. On Monday following a Panthers victory, you get a dozen original glazed for just $3.99 at Krispy Kreme. Manuel looking. And spun down at the 39-yard line. Greg Hardy got to it.
Yeah, this defensive ends picked up where they left off. But this was started by Dwan Edwards getting that pressure up the middle that got E.J. Manuel off his spot. And then Greg Hardy there to clean him up.
Loss of 5 on the play. Greg Hardy, splashy year last year. He's come to camp in shape. Second and long, Buffalo off schedule. Spiller trying to return to his 2012 Pro Bowl form. Hit down by Colin Jones. Got back to the original line of scrimmage plus a couple.
It's just a little draw play. as a defensive line, you play the draw on the way to the quarterback. They did a great job of rallying around to that draw and just getting, CJ only got maybe a yard off that.
Spiller remains in on 3rd down, 3rd and 9. Movement pre-snap. The referee today is Walt
encroachment,
Coleman.
number 98, defense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Veteran official, his voice sounds like a bandsaw cutting galvanized tin, especially on the new PA system here at Bank of America Stadium. Hope y'all could hear Walt. So the 5-yard penalty goes against Carolina. And that changes everything. 3rd and 4, much more manageable. See the penalty flag come in late. Woods catching the E.J. Manuel pass, which would be a 1st down Buffalo pending the flag.
Illegal contact, number 20, defense. That penalty's declined. Result of the play, 1st down.
And Antoine Cason.
Well, the referees are really going to be hard on contact after 5 yards. And that's what they called right here. I know there's something, they're going after Cason. He's going to have to swell up on that side because they're seeing something in him and why they're trying to attack him.
This whole game so far has been played in the Panthers' defensive half. Watkins slips out of the backfield for decent yardage. Cason defending. Rugg, the Bills have already played a preseason game. They got lathered up a little bit a week ago in the Hall of Fame game against the Giants. Does that play to their advantage at all?
Well, that helps them. They've already got those cobwebs and those jitters out of their system last week. So, you know, the Panthers, they got to get their jitters out pretty quick.
Manuel 6 of 6 so far, 63 yards. Screen pass, bad choice. Chase Blackburn was all over Fred Jackson.
But if you see Chase Blackburn right here, he's got this running back in the screen. So that screen, that running back's going to come out. Chase is all over that. You played the screen perfectly. That is textbook right there, played by Chase Blackburn.
Not getting sucked too far upfield and then retracing his steps to make the tackle. And Mike Rucker knows exactly how that's done because he did it for years at Nebraska and here with the Panthers. On 3rd and 10. Intended for Chandler, broken up.
See this replay, this defensive line's getting in front of Emmanuel's face, but the linebackers for the Panthers, A.J. Klein right there all over the tight end, not leaving much room for him to throw.
Decent matchup for Buffalo, getting the tight end on the linebacker, but A.J. Klein won the battle. So here's Dan Carpenter from 37 to give the Bills the lead. Carpenter was terrific last year, only missed 3. Punches it through, and Buffalo's up 3-0. Panthers to get kicked off to next on a cloudy night from Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte. Buffalo up 3-0. And our Belk scoring drive shows you how they got there. 7 plays, 13 yards, and then Dan Carpenter the 37-yard field goal. So middle first quarter and Buffalo with a 3-point lead. Who's getting the better of it so far, Russ?
Well, we've been playing, the Panthers have been playing on their side of the 50. The defense has played well, not giving up that touchdown and just allowing this Bills just a field goal. So defensively, they are keeping them out of the end zone.
Dustin Hopkins will kick off. It'll be Polaris. To about the 18. Mike McCormick, one of the founders of the Carolina Panthers, as the Buffalo Bills lead it. We'll be back after a word from your local Panther station. Some of the young and the restless here at Bank of America Stadium with Buffalo up 3-0 early on. Panther offense has not done much yet. 1st and 10 from the 18. Let's go to Kelly Bardick, our sideline reporter. Kelly.
Guys, of course, the defensive line is a strong part of, it's a very strong unit. One of the veteran players, Greg Hardy, pulled rookie Coney Ely aside, giving him tips. Coney Ely now talking to Charles Johnson, who's not playing, but very in tuned in the game.
Anderson to Olsen at the 30. Good throw and a good catch right underneath Corey Graham for a first down. 12-yard pickup.
Greg Olsen, he played a big part last year being the leading receiver, just an out route. He's a big target, so he's hard to miss, and he put it on the money there to move the sticks.
Greg Olsen, it's almost that old central casting cliche applies. Send us over a tight end. He's just the way you'd want to have one made up.
Well, he's a great guy. And talking to Coach, yesterday, he knows all the receiving positions, so he is like a wide receiver.
Corner blitz coming, picked up by the Panthers. Back shoulder fade, caught with a penalty marker down. Jericho Cotchery, the former NC State star. This year the referees are all mic. You can see the wireless mic, and all of them have them, all the officials, so that they can more quickly go through the administration of a foul.
Illegal contact, number 24, defense. That penalty's declined. 2nd down.
Stephon Gilmore. So Greg Olsen and the Panther wide receivers last year, here's the way the reception leaders stacked up, with Olsen 73, almost 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns. Steve Smith right behind that, gone. Brandon LaFell, 3rd leading receiver, gone. Ted Ginn, a sock in the return game, a dynamic receiver and return man, is gone. But in the NFL, when the door closes, a couple normally open. Running play, Kenyon Barner. Good low pad level, and he darts for first down yardage, a gain of 8 yards right up in there.
And that's one of the things that this Panther offense wants to see, is Barner being able to go inside the tackle. He's not as big as a Tolbert or a Stewart, so they like to get him on the outside, but they got to be able to get him inside. He did a great job just picking the hole, finding his way. Look at Greg Olsen and the tight end crew getting that double block, and you're getting Hughes out of there. That's what you want to do as the offensive line, and those tight ends they bring to the table. They'll move you off the ball.
Did you see Hughes express his displeasure with being doubled up on the play? On the zone stretch to Barner. This time he's outnumbered. Lost a yard. Marcel Darius on the tackle. Barner can make good choices. I'm telling you, right, he is a very good decision maker in traffic, if he can just clean up some ball security issues.
And that's the thing. That's the quickest way to get in the doghouse with any football team, is to put the ball on the ground, regardless if you get it back. And that's what happened last year. And so they want to see him secure the ball. He'll get more carries.
Pass complete over the middle. Anderson dumps it middle of the field for 6 yards. Ed Dixon, tight end out of Oregon, former Baltimore Raven, made the grab.
Well, you can see that the tight ends are playing a big part in this game so far, and Dixon just catching that little pitch and catch right there. But Greg Olsen earlier, the tight ends play a big part, where they go single tight end or double tight end. They're very involved in this game.
Who just joined us, no Cam Newton tonight. Nursing that ankle, which is doing well. Anderson flushed. Kenron does. First down, Carolina Panthers. Picked up 7, and why not? 3 yards, far sideline.
You know, Derek Anderson, he's smiling right now. He's saying, Cam, you're not the only one that can run. Derek Anderson wanted to go to to Greg Olsen, but then said, hey, if I don't have to throw it, I can run for it. Watch the blocking from the receiver. Just only one thing that you can catch the ball, but in this game, you got to be able to block. Cam is loving it.
Cameron Jarrell Newton, he may burn more calories tonight in his supporting role than if he were playing in the game. Newton had had a terrific camp, throwing the ball exceptionally well. Anderson, laser to Olsen. Upended after 8 yards.
Well, I tell you what, you look at this running back right here in Barner. He's going to pick up this blitz. The Bills are going to blitz, and this is one of the things he's doing really well. And not a big guy, but he picks up this linebacker, cuts him down, gives Derek Anderson the time to get the ball out to Greg Olsen. Now watch, Greg Olsen gets the ball, and he does what he does best by turning up the field and getting that extra yard.
Good call, Kenyon Barner in pass pro blitz pickup, doing an excellent job. Flowing right and whacked short of the first down by Aaron Williams, a safety. Most everybody else in the NFC South is playing tonight. Atlanta trailing Miami second quarter. Tampa Bay trailing Jacksonville early. Philadelphia and the Bears are 0-0. Scores brought to you by Bud Light, taking you around the league. Tolbert behind Brockel. Wing eye set. Good block by Dixon. First down, Panthers.
That's one of the things that you get when you have a backup veteran in Derek Anderson. He sees the play is kind of breaking down. He's got a guy that he feels like he wants to go to, but says, you know what, I'll take the safer bet, tuck the ball, and he's getting some blocking from his tight end right there, Dixon, and is able to pick up the first down. Nice veteran move.
Mike, it's one of the hardest things in football to find in the NFL is a man like that man there who is talented enough as a quarterback to win with, but yet with ego in check enough to not be a malfactor in the locker room. We'll take a break here at Bank of America Stadium in uptown Charlotte with the score 3-0 visitors. Up 3, Kelly Bardick patrolling the sidelines. What do you got, Bardick?
Involved when Derek Anderson ran for that big first down. Camp jumped out onto the turf, did his first down sign, then he came over with his towel and started fanning Derek Anderson off. Definitely one of his biggest cheerleaders out here.
Kelly, I think you can really power a small city or maybe a medium-sized one with the childlike exuberance that Cam Newton brings to the game. Mediagenic and hyper-talented Cam Newton. Barner in, 10th play of the drive. First and 10 Panthers. O-line forms the pocket. Anderson going end zone. Benjamin made the catch. Touchdown.
Wow. You know, Derek Anderson, he sees that he's got man-on-man on the outside, and he's going to the big rookie. He stumbles. He's got great eye-hand coordination in Kelvin Benjamin, and he just puts those big mitts out there and pulls that ball in for a touchdown.
Over one of the better corners in football, Stephon Gilmore. So the Panthers have taken the lead 6-3. This is part of an experimental rule now in the NFL. For the first 2 preseason weeks, point after touchdowns will come from the 15-yard line. So the net result will be similar to a 33-yard field goal. Jordan Gay to make it 7-3. No. But Kelvin Benjamin is happy. His first touchdown as a Carolina Panther, and it came from a Derek Anderson pass at Bank of America Stadium. Score, Carolina the missed PAT up over Buffalo 6-3. The scoring pass was a thing of beauty. Ruck, how did it happen?
Well, you see Kelvin Benjamin right down here at the bottom of your screen, and he's just going to do a fly route. You know, he's a big guy, but he shows that he has some speed. Gets tangled up a little bit, but this is great eye-hand coordination. And then you have that protection. All right, look at this offensive line that's been thrown together for the first time this year. Derek Anderson has a nice half moon to be able to throw from the pocket.
Saw Byron Bell take on the shiver charge from Jerry Hughes and hold his own. Kelvin Benjamin, Derek Anderson to give the Panthers a 3-point lead. Goodwin back. And he won't come out of there with it. Early second quarter. We'll be back with more football after a word from your local Panther station. Carolina up 3 early second quarter. The Belk scoring drive is brought to you by our friends at Belk. And Mike Rucker, was a shortish Carolina Panther drive, but impressive nonetheless.
Well, what you like, it's 10 plays. You know, it's a mixture of runs and scrambles and some nice throws, and resulting in a touchdown.
A longer drive, but the scoring pass from over 30 yards away will give Kelvin Benjamin some more confidence. Little tunnel screen busted up. First quarter stats are brought to you by Bank of America. What stands out, Michael?
Well, I think it's pretty even across the board in plays and a little bit different in yardage, but time of possession is about the same. I think the difference is that big long touchdown that the Panthers were able to punch into the end zone, unlike the Bills, who have had 2 opportunities and were kept out of the end zone.
First quarter stats brought to you by Bank of America. Bank of America is proud of the stadium that bears their name, newly remodeled. Robert Woods, far side, 8 yards. Surprised at all that E.J. Manuel remains in the game, Mike?
Well, you got to look at it's also his second game, so they want to continue their pace and getting their quarterback and their team reps. It depends on the way you look at it. Some say, well, I don't want to play that extra game. Some people will take advantage of it and say, hey, we're going to keep moving and progressing, part of our program.
Buffalo likes a faster tempo. They have some red ball or no huddle in their attack. Haven't seen as much of it tonight. On 3rd and short, flags down. Pass was complete to Spiller. Josh Thomas covering.
Prior to the pass, holding, number 22, defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Yeah, Josh Thomas, number 22.
You see where that's going to be automatic. He doesn't even make it hard for the referee. When you get your hands outside the shoulder blades and his hands are on the back numbers, that's going to be an easy call for the umpires.
Yeah, that was assault and battery in 6 states. Fred Jackson over right tackle. Erased after a yard. Chase Blackburn in on the stop.
Again, you see Chase Blackburn. He's going to boom, and he's going to shoot, make that play right here. They're just going to pull their guard, try to kick out. Chase gets in there and gets another tackle. Chase has been very active in the passing game and in the running game.
You see that wham block with the tight end?
Absolutely.
Coming across. This defense is in a bad way. Over the middle, Williams went up high, grabbed it. First down, Buffalo in Panther territory. 28-yard pickup.
Little chippy, I think you got Norman right there. He's in great position. He goes up, but instead of going for the ball at its highest point, he goes for the tackle, allowing, not challenging the receiver for the catch. I think if he goes up and challenges that ball at the highest point, he might have a shot of knocking that ball out of there.
Many Buffalo regulars still playing against some substitutes defensively for the Panthers. On 1st and 10, Woods again the intended receiver, and it'll be 2nd down. Colin Jones tracking it. Colin Jones is a thumper, special teams demon out of Texas Christian University. A nice free agent pickup.
You know, he's been real big in the special teams, and now he's getting an opportunity to play early in the game to kind of sharpen his skills. And so this Panther defensive crew will look at him and say, hey, if something should happen, can we put him in there? And he's showing that he can right now.
Spiller and Summers in the backfield, and it's the ISO. Spiller with a penalty flag down. Got to the edge near side, but hold everything. Lee Smith possibly guilty of a hold. That was a 16-yard rush.
Holding, number 85, offense. 10-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
You know, part of being on the defense is you got to set the corners, and the edge is set really good. You can see the holes where he turns him all the way around, and that's going to be real easy when you're on the line as a tight end or an offensive tackle. You make it real easy when you spin a guy around for the referee to be able to throw that flag.
First penalty of the night, Mike, for Doug Marone's Buffalo Bills. 2nd and very long. Woods the intended receiver again. Woods had a great rookie year last year. 4 catches for 49 yards against New York. Harder time hooking up with Manuel tonight. Manuel started with a very hot hand. What's happened since then?
Well, I think the defense is kind of settling in. You know, they're rotating their the Panthers are rotating their defensive line. They're a little thin because of some guys being nicked up, but they're staying fresh. And I think the defense is giving them different looks.
E.J. Manuel. Third and 20. Manuel tackled at the 45-yard line. Mario Addison with a burst of speed late.
And we just talked about this defensive line and rotating. Watch this nice move by Quan Short, making Manuel get off his spot, and then his fellow defensive lineman Addison comes in and cleans him up, makes him put a foot to the ball. That's teamwork.
Mormon on the punt, and Kenyon Barner waiting at the 8-yard line. Good punt, very high, checks up. And the Panthers will have it at the 12-yard line when we return. 33-yard punt, no return. Uptown Charlotte alive with the excitement of Carolina Panther Buffalo Bill preseason football. 3 Carolina now to our very talented sideline reporter Kelly Bardick.
Thanks, Mick. When the defense was out on the field, Kelvin Benjamin was explaining to wide receivers coach Ricky Prohl how he came up and made that touchdown catch. All of a sudden, Jericho Cotchery, the veteran wideout, comes over and just says, that was amazing.
Cotchery's got savvy. Good hands. Route runner. Steelers, Jets, now Panthers. Kenyon Barner out across the 10 to the 12. Keith Rivers popped him. No gain. Couldn't tell what Cam Newton was doing there, could you?
No, I couldn't.
Again, it's Kenyon Barner hemmed up and put down after a 2-yard gain. Well, Barner's pretty good in the screen game. He's done well, Mike, in blitz pickup tonight, but the running lanes haven't been there for him here the last couple of tries.
And that's something as a running back, you know that you got to be patient. I mean, some of the great ones will will wait till that third, fourth quarter for those lines open up and they really start popping it. So he's done a great job in taking care of the ball, blitz pickup, running inside the tackle. He's just got to be patient, and that line will open the lanes up for him.
We saw D'Angelo Williams working over some crushed ice on the sideline. On 3rd and long, Anderson's pass short and right. Dixon did all he could with it, and the Panthers turn in a 3-and-out. Derek Anderson's lost 15 pounds in the offseason. He and his family like it in Charlotte and just want to stay. They're expecting their first child this month. Anderson turning down some chances to go elsewhere for more money and more playing time. Roby, the deep back. Punt, kind of a lazy, wobbly spiral. Roby hit out of bounds at the 49. 48-yard punt and an 11-yard return. Ben Jacobs made the tackle. More Panther football coming up next after this word from your local Panthers Network station. This is a landmark season, the 20th year of Panther football. That play in the Panthers' first ever win turned in by the great Sam Mills. All throughout our preseason, we'll be highlighting some of the great moments, great plays, great games in Panther history. New quarterback Thad Lewis played at Duke, and right away he's running for his degree in political science, with some Panthers breathing right on him.
That was Coney Ely, coming off that left end, not getting faked by the quarterback. Boom! Used his speed to push him off his dot and was able to make him throw that ball incomplete from the young rookie.
Lewis's pass caught right side, little look in. Marquise Goodwin, 18-yard gain.
Well, you're going to get some of these younger guys in there, and it's just a quick slant. With the quick slant, this defensive line's got to get their hands up and maybe get a little finger or two to tip that ball on the quick slant, because that's coming out very fast and very hot.
Thad Lewis on first down, being pressured, taken down at the 38-yard line. Wes Horton came through.
See our D tackle right here on the center. He's going to just bust through here, not bite on the play action fake. Nice swim move. He gets the quarterback moving, and once again, his buddies come to help him out. You might not necessarily get the sack, but you made a big play in making that quarterback take off out of the pocket.
So Ely gets an assist on that, right? Because he kind of started it all. Buffalo on second down and 14 yards to go. Hooks up again. Robert Woods from Thad Lewis this time with Josh Norman. And again, a near skirmish on the field involving Josh Norman.
Well, that's Josh Norman's MO. He's a little chippy. He doesn't take anything from anybody. He's a guy that's had some good preseason games and looking to kind of continue that this preseason.
Norman has recently gotten his braces off, which will enable him to talk trash even better. Split backs. And Robert Woods with Josh Norman tracking him again. It is incomplete and fourth down. Doug Marrone coached at Syracuse for a while before that. 5 years with Detroit. They were actually with the Saints for 7 years. So here's Dan Carpenter from 45. From out of the Mormon hold. Hooking, and it clanks off the upright. Incomplete. A rare miss for Carpenter. That would have tied the score. So the Panthers will take over from the spot the kick was attempted. with the score, 6-3, Carolina.
Combinations.
Matt Blanchard in at quarterback, and he zips a pass to Philly Brown, who brings it in for a first down, 13 yards, right up the hash marks right side.
To calm down a young guy is to get the ball out quick into an open receiver.
Philly Brown's got potential.
I heard his name numerous times yesterday down at camp, that they really want to see what he can do as a receiver and in the return game.
Benjamin Farr bursting near. Williams the motion man. Oh, Blanchard. Good choice to go to Barner, but Barner plummered it.
And that's, again, getting the ball out quick. He went through his reads, and you're taught as a quarterback, if it's not there, don't force it. Check it down. He did that. Barner just let that one slide through his fingers.
Exactly right, Mike. Blanchard, you could just almost feel him calculating 1,001, 1,002, 1,003. Bingo, do
Check
something.
it down. And that's perfectly fine, especially as you're a young guy and you're starting to get the feel for this thing. Get the ball out quick. That should be a safety net for him.
Blanchard never lost a game as a starting quarterback at Wisconsin Whitewater. Second effort by Barner trying to get away and reverse his field. Landon Cohen would hear nothing of it.
Yeah, you got a new offensive group of linemen in there. There's a lot of penetration, and it makes it tough for a running back in Barner to be able to get through that when you got those blue jerseys staring you right down the face.
It is sometimes hard too, Mike, especially for running backs. Your high school highlight film starts playing in your head sometimes, and you think that you can just back up and outrun everybody to the edge.
Everybody's fast. You got offensive linemen running like tight ends.
Blanchard, pocket evaporating, loss of football, picked up by Buffalo, and a first down for the Bills. Manny Lawson from Goldsboro, and the former NC State Wolfpack recovered the fumble.
Yeah, you talk about the young guy. He's making his reads and he's moving around in the pocket, and the pocket just collapsed on him. There's a lot of pressure, a lot of games being played up front, and then if you can't sack the quarterback and bring him down, the next best thing is to reach your hand out there and swipe at the ball, and that's what they did. The defensive did.
So the sudden change comes middle of the second quarter. Thad Lewis and Buffalo can see the end zone from here. Good look at the Duke graduate, Thad Lewis. Pass is tipped and incomplete.
Again, the defensive line, my biggest weapons on these quick throws. If you can't sack the quarterback or get him, get your hands up.
It was Mike Kennor, Regis.
Big fella right there.
Yeah, he tipped it. Bills traded for Lewis with Detroit last year. Thad's been with the Rams and Cleveland. Bryce Brown squirts through a hole up the middle. Way too many missed tackles. Robert Lester finally ended the play after a 15-yard gain and a first down.
And this is going to get the coaches really fired up, because last year part of the problem was a great defense, but it was missed tackles, about 1 in every 6 plays. And you had 2-3 guys miss tackles right here. That's the easy part. Reading and figuring out what's going on, getting to the ball, that's the hard part. Once you get there, you just bring the guy down.
The wide zone, Bryce Brown, pylon. Close to the touchdown, but not quite. Colin Jones popped him. 11-yard gain.
Coming to the left side of your screen, and that's A.J. Klein right there. He doesn't get off the block, and it makes a short corner, allows that running back to turn the corner on him.
Foot, yes, a foot out of bounds right there. Good job by our camera crew. In case you were thinking pylon and touchdown, it kind of looked like that before that great camera work. Tight line splits. Jackson, or check it, Dixon fighting. Got 2.
You got some pressure up the middle from the defensive line, which is great. Josh Norman, he's too high. When you're messing with the running back that big and he's got a full head of steam, as a cornerback, you got to get waist down and below to take him down. Otherwise, he'll drive him into the end zone.
Look at the CPI Security Systems red zone arithmetic. Last year, Buffalo Panther defense. Buffalo near the bottom last year. The Panthers near the top in third down defense. But Dixon penetrates the goal line for a touchdown.
Yeah, there's not as much line penetration right here. And it's just kind of an easy come off that right side of his offensive tackle and just dip into the end zone. You know, the Panthers have been great this evening in keeping them out of the end zone. But when you get down there, goal line in inches, and you get a surge from the offensive line, it makes it real tough on you.
I liked your comment on Josh Norman, because that's so spot on. I mean, he's coming in way yonder too high, trying to tackle a running back with a lower center of gravity. Norman will learn. Norman gets the hard part right in that he's a ball hawk. Carpenter's PAT is good, and Buffalo is up by 4. Cam did not start, but he's fully engaged and not too happy with what he's seeing on the scoreboard.
That this practicing is part of his rehab. You know, you can't simulate the movement that he's going to do, you know, in a rehab room. You've got to get him out on the field, so as he progresses on the football field, he's progressing in the strengthening of that ankle. So.
And you know, Cam's not playing tonight, and it wasn't by his choice. He's eager and he's ready to get out there. Training staff, the coach said, hey, listen, we got to be smart about this. We got to get you 100%. We'll get you your time, but we got to take care and get you healthy.
Here's what he's done the last 3 years, and no other quarterback in the history of the NFL has done this. He's the only man. We'll add these up for you. Don't worry about the math. He's the only quarterback to pass for 10,000 plus and rush for 2,000 plus in his first 3 years in the pros.
That's a definition of a dual threat right there.
Also the rushing touchdown leader after 3 seasons at his position. Hopkins kickoff. Returnable. To about the 18 again. Kealoha Polaris. Polaris coming back after 2 seasons of nagging injuries, and possibly some of the shake and the wiggle will return, Mike, to his game. Panthers need him.
And they need him, not only to be a young guy and step up in this receiving core, but also in special teams. You know, special teams, as far as the return game, really needs to take that big leap and make a big impact for this team.
He became a pescatarian in the offseason, eating almost all fish. Blanchard, the counter bootleg, incomplete. Burson, the intended receiver. A lot to like about Brent Burson. There's a reason, Ruck, the Panthers have kept him around now for 3 years.
Yeah, he's kind of been on the practice squad, but they really like him. And talking to, you know, Coach Prohl and some of the other guys, they talk about how he is a technician, his route running is getting better, and that he has taken the time on the practice squad and really learning and becoming a pro.
Ricky Prohl's gotten coached up. I think Cam Newton's developed a lot of confidence in Burson too. Doesn't hesitate to throw. near those blonde locks when he sees them flowing. Penalty marker down. Short pass complete to Burson.
Illegal use of hands in the face, 92, defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
You see Burson right here. We just got through talking about him. He's a big receiver. Gets that DB off of him. He just reaches up and grabs that ball. You see how he protects the ball? That's what I like. He catches it and he protects the ball.
Got a foot in the ground, turned around quickly, kind of walled the defender off, and Blanchard saw him. Burson, if he makes the 53-man roster, I'll tell you this stat in a second. If Burson makes the 53, he'd be the first Wofford Terrier to make it since Jerry Richardson in the late 50s.
That's good company to be in.
Full start, number 70, offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Down to Kelly Bardick on the sideline for more on the Brenton Burson story. Kelly?
Thanks, Mick. Offensive coordinator Mike Shula said Burson has a confidence about him. He also has a calmness about him. And you could see him. He's been a star at training camp. No drops in Spartanburg until yesterday.
Last year for Jerry Richardson, he was a Burson of interest. But this year, a real threat to make the 53. Panthers trying to set a screen up, and that play about like 3 days of bad weather. It was doomed from early on. Here's the Bud Light scoreboard brought to you by Bud Light. Atlanta tied now with Miami. Lovie Smith, the new coach in Tampa Bay. That should be interesting. Chip Kelly and Mark Trestman, two offensive-minded coaches in that game, and then the Vikings leading Oakland. New Orleans and the Rams, the Bud Light scoreboard. A lot of people think it's going to be the Saints division this year, but that may be just what the Panthers like. Under promise and over produce. Blanchard under duress. Corbin Bryant, the first one to get to him, a 5-yard loss on the sack.
Well, Buffalo's known to have a good defensive line, and they're very active tonight. It looked like Blanchard thought he had a guy open, but then just brought the ball back down for whatever reason and got sacked.
So what's your call here, Coach, on 3rd and 20?
Well, you don't want to do anything crazy. You know, you do a draw, you do a screen. You might just try to get out of this down. You don't want any funny business where you're fumbling or taking a sack down here. You got to play field position here.
Intended for Underwood, but the ball was tipped by Manny Lawson.
Again, they went with a wide receiver screen. Happy with the play, but the big guy got his hand up. You got to get that defensive guy to get his knees down and go after those knees to make him put his hands down. See, Bell right there just let the defensive go, and he was able to get his paw up there.
Roby to track this punt. A lower one. Roby set up for a run back. But the Panthers quickly get there. Here comes a penalty marker. And then another. We have a marker way back at the 9-yard line. And then one on the plus side of the 50. .46-yard punt, not much hang time, a 3-yard return. See J.J. Jensen there, the deep snapper, went to the Pro Bowl last year. Very dependable, J.J. Jensen.
He is. He's on the money with his snaps. I mean, that's his craft. He's a great guy, but he really works at that and takes pride in getting that ball back to his punter in a quick fashion.
Good thing the officials have the microphones this year. They can talk to each other. Otherwise, this would be taking a while.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think they just want to get it right.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Illegal use of hands, 57 on the kicking team. Illegal block in the back, number 52 of the receiving team. Those penalties offset, we will re-kick. 4th down.
The offsetting penalties get us in the mood for a sweet tweet. This one from Sam Patching. Brought to you by Krispy Kreme. A sweet tweet in Sydney, Australia. Mike, you would know that. Do they have Krispy Kreme in Australia?
I don't know if they got it out there, but I tell you what, if he writes a letter, maybe they can get one out there. You know, that's a long ways. He says Saturday morning. That's tomorrow for us.
That's right. He should already know who wins this game. Yeah. So every Monday following a Panther win, you get a dozen original glazed donuts for just $3.99 at Krispy Kreme. So we'll repunt, and there's an old saw in football that says nothing good ever happens on a re-kick.
Well, I think in this case, they would like to get a little bit more air and hang time with this on this punt.
Done. Deep and high. Bobbled by Roby. Can't pick it up. Finally, Buffalo's Ty Powell splashes down on him.
There was just something in the air on that one.
Yeah, good call. 4.5 seconds of hang time was exactly what was in the air on that punt. Coach Rivera getting them coached up on the sideline. A local break. We'll be back with more Panther football after this from your local Panther station. Buffalo led 3-0 early. Panthers came back with a touchdown, missed the extra point, and then Buffalo scored. Cam Newton and some of his teammates talking. Coming up at halftime, Kelly Bardick will be at your service. We will have scores, highlights, stadium renovation story. Kelly will be talking to the president of the Carolina Panthers, Danny Morrison, as well, all on our AT&T halftime report. Bryce Brown tripped up and then banged down. A.J. Klein did the tripping.
They really like A.J. Klein. I mean, he's that young linebacker that they've drafted and will eventually like to see him in the rotation. Played that draw really well and just ran to the ball. And, made it for a tackle for a loss.
Loss of 1. Klein out of Iowa State. He had long hair. His hair was 2 feet long before he cut it last year. Looks more linebacker-esque now. 2nd and 11. A little slice to Bryce Brown. No gain. In fact, lost yardage again.
Now, great job by Alex Hall on the right side of this formation and just holds his gap and is able to get the pressure and to get the guy down. Now, this is great. This allows the Panthers to use their timeouts and maybe get another shot at the end zone.
Edge control is so important in football. Has the threat of the option made it even more so, Mike?
Absolutely. It's putting a lot more pressure on the defensive ends as this read option offense has come to pass in the last few years. And so now the defensive ends got to do more in keeping that edge control.
Pride in Carolina's, meanwhile, the Top Cats exhorting Ron Rivera's Panthers. Does the score matter in a preseason game?
At the end of the day, yes. I mean, every guy on that field wants to win, regardless of what the outcome, if it's a preseason game or not.
And chance to get the ball back if the Panthers can hold here. Godfrey coming up quickly to bump Bryce Brown out of bounds.
Well, it looked like the edge control that we just talked about was lost, but they were able to get him out of bounds and stop the clock. So that definitely helps the Panthers in keeping the clock at 1:02.
It was actually Robert Lester who came up quickly. So you're right, Mike. Chance for the Panthers to get punted to and maybe get some work in. Good punt. Barner pummeled after he caught it, but he held on to it. 43-yard punt and no return, of course.
And Barner took a hit right there. That's one of the things as a returner that you got to hang on to the ball. He knows he's going to get hit, and he did a great job of holding on to the ball. That's you get the glory of taking one all the way back, but you also got to take the glory when that guy's running down on you.
Exactly. Ron Brooks from LSU tattooed him, and sometimes the defense is just better than you on a particular play. He held on to the ball, which is the important thing. Linebacker blitz coming off the edge. Blanchard trying to fit it into a tight spot to Burson, knocked away at the last second.
I think Blanchard was lucky. He was a little late getting that ball out of there, and he got knocked down, but there was another guy that was hovering over that ball, almost got the interception. This is a great opportunity for the Panthers to run their 2-minute drill, and they're going to get a couple more plays to get a crack at it.
Blanchard to Underwood, intercepted. Searcy, and he's out of bounds.
Yeah, unfortunately, he made the right read. He had a guy open, just overthrew him by a mile and threw the interception. See, he has his guy open right there in Underwood, but just overthrows him and throws the interception.
Denoris Searcy played at UNC, familiar name in the Carolinas. Second Panther turnover tonight, and Buffalo is in good shape again. Some teams would go for the home run ball after the turnover. Buffalo doing it. Some separation was there, but the ball overthrown.
You're exactly right, Mick. I mean, when you get these short fields, a lot of times that opening play, you just take a shot at the end zone. And the Panthers were on that. It was a little bit overthrown.
Thad Lewis remains in at quarterback for Buffalo. Shoots a pass underneath to Chris Hogan. Lewis took a long look down the field and then to the left and finally just checked it down for first down yardage and stopped the clock with 27 seconds remaining in the half.
Well, Lewis uses his feet as the pocket. He's got great pocket awareness and then just sees the opening. Makes a great read and just checking it down. But once again, we talk about the missed tackles, and it allows this play to stay and get out of bounds and get the first down.
With 27 ticks remaining. Lewis, almost intercepted by a Panther. Lewis threw it right to a Panther, Jason Williams.
Jason Williams, wish he had this play back. A little miscommunication between Lewis and Brown, and the ball just went right through Jason Williams' hand. Now, I think if he would have caught this, he might have went to the house.
He at least would have had him a convoy set up. Remember the interception? No, it was actually a block punt against the Jets Williams had last year in a key win. Penalty flag down as Lewis throws out of bounds. It'll be a hold on the offense.
Holding, number 79, offense, 10-yard penalty, still second down.
Frank Alexander was held. We now know that there are Krispy Kreme stores in Australia, and that is the sweetest of all sweet tweets. Brought to you by our friends at Krispy Kreme. Krispy Kreme also. There's one in Spartanburg where the Panthers train. I'd like to give a shout out to Inez down there. See you first of the week, Inez. Robert Woods sneaks from the left side over to the right. A.J. Klein tackles him, 7-yard
Team
pickup.
timeout. Buffalo, 30-second timeout.
See A.J. Klein right here, number 56, and he's going to play this play perfectly. He's going to drop back. He's going to see that he's dropping down with the pass and just come up. Now that's how you tackle. That's perfect form tackling right there by A.J. Klein.
Formed him up. Williams is good on special teams. His back to us right now, talking to A.J. Klein. And that's Cam Newton on the sideline, and he's dressed like that because the decision was made late this afternoon that he would not play. He did come out and warm up. Expect to see him next week against Kansas City. 6 seconds remaining. Bryce Brown slides down at the 24. 3 seconds left in the half, and a timeout, Buffalo. They're in Carpenter's range.
Well, that's what that play was. They just wanted to be able to drop that off and get a little bit more field yardage so they can be able to make this kick.
Carpenter last year, 33 of 36.
Not bad. Not bad.
I think Coach Rivera, Mike, is coaching with even a little more confidence and swagger this year with the success of last year.
I think so. I think that he's kind of been in the tough where, the season didn't go where the way they wanted to, but then he's been where they did go. So obviously this gives him that added confidence to get over that hump.
And the players will sense that?
Absolutely.
Carpenter from 42. Got it. And that's the last play of the first half at Bank of America Stadium. Preseason game number 1. Kelly Bardick will take you through the AT&T halftime show next with the interval score. Buffalo 13 and the Panthers 6.
Carolina Panthers football is being brought to you by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. By Touchstone Energy. North Carolina's Touchstone Energy Cooperatives are proud sponsors of the Carolina Panthers. By Subway. Train hard. Eat fresh. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO.
Player Watch brought to you by Belk. Brandon Williams, all kind of potential. One of the great natural athletes, Mike, on the Carolina Panthers.
And when you look at him, he's chiseled right out of some granite or some stone. I think that they want to get him more reps, and if he can do the things, he's doing the right things in the blocking game, but when it comes time for him to receive and catch that ball, he's got to squeeze it.
Hopkins will kick off. Here we go. Third quarter is underway. Polaris had a notion, drops to one knee. So we saw Derek Anderson to begin the football game, and then Matt Blanchard. Joe Webb is in the on-deck circle, and he's going to get his opportunity. Fascinating story about him.
I think that one of the things that we got to realize is the Panthers kept 2 quarterbacks on the roster. So there's a lot riding on Blanchard and Webb to make it hard on this coaching staff to say, hey, there's a reason why we need to keep this third quarterback on this roster. And so Joe Webb is now going to get his opportunity to show the coaching staff just why they should keep him.
He looks a little bit like Cam Newton light in terms of his arm strength and his athleticism. It's Barner. Tried to truck near side, but got hit hard after a yard.
There's no yards. You get the big fellas out in front of you, which is great. But what's hard for these big guys is to try to block somebody in space. And the DB just made a great job of jumping outside of the big guard and making the tackle.
Ron Brooks has played well, number 33 from out of LSU for Buffalo. So Joe Webb has been a quarterback in the NFL and a receiver in the pros. He actually caught a couple of passes against the Panthers last year when he was with the Vikings. Snaps a short throw over the middle incomplete of Darren Reeves. It was wild high.
He's a young guy, and so he's played a lot of positions, so that means he's athletic. And so, but what this Panthers coaching staff wants to see, and especially in Coach Shula, they want to see if he can throw the ball. We know that you can run. We know that if the thing breaks down, you can take off and you can buy time. But can you stay in the pocket, and can you deliver that ball downfield is the question mark that has to be answered.
Panthers 2 of 6 on third downs tonight. Webb backs up, winds up. Burson got it. First down, Panthers to the 40-yard line.
That's exactly what we just talked about. Can you stay in the pocket, and can you deliver that ball down the field? The offensive line gives him a great pocket. There's no one in front of him. He's able to deliver that ball to Burson, and he's able to get the ball, tuck it upfield for another 5 yards. Look at the offensive line. The offensive line, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. He didn't get his jersey dirty. No one even touched him. Great job by the Panthers offensive line on that play.
Caveman center Brian Folkerts delivering a gentle jolt to help free Webb, and also Chris Scott, number 75, doing well. Webb to Reeves. Nowhere to run.
This offense has struggled today to get the running game going. And that's something that they've always counted on. No matter if they could throw the ball or not, they've always been able to run the ball, and they've kind of struggled today. There's Coach Skipper, the running back coach.
Hat pulled down any lower, he wouldn't be able to see what he's watching on the field. Just 16 rushing yards. Not what Coach Skip and the other coaches want. Reeves hemmed in quickly again. The Panthers actually like little Darren Reeves. Want to try to get a look at him in space. A good screen game receiver. Stands only 5'7". UAB product, a rookie. There's Joe Webb. Joe Webb has a 42.5-inch vertical leap. He dunked a basketball at age 14 for the first time when he stood 5'10".
That's like jumping and hanging out in the clouds.
Incredible athlete. Keeps his balance. Fighting for the first down. Might have gotten it. Unbelievable play.
There's a lot of things I like about this play. One, he is staying in the pocket. He's looking downfield. Look at his eyes. Now the play's breaking down. He is still looking downfield. He's not running yet. Now it's time to run. Now, Coach O'Toole, as a quarterback, you got to slide. You got to preserve yourself to get to that next play. But I like him fighting for the first down, though. Some great plays, some great decision-making in that play.
Reeves up inside. Reeves got some lead in his pencil too, fighting hard for yardage. Jarius Wynn from Georgia knocked him down. 4-yard gain.
That's Panther football right there. Getting that, 4 yards, 5 yards a clip. And sometimes it's just getting the excitement. Sometimes if you're not doing very well, the offensive line, people kind of get down. You get a big play from your quarterback, you get the first down, start to get the energy going, and you rip off 4 yards in that run play.
The way it seems, no doubt. Joe Webb. Zordich and Reeves in the backfield. Webb got to think of something quickly, and he is sacked.
This is what we call a pressure blitz. It's not a true blitz, but once this linebacker sees that his running back is staying in the block, then he shoots the free open gap. And Joe Webb held on to the ball a little bit long and took the brunt of that one.
Randall Johnson, 7th round draft choice. Ruck in the 2014 draft made the hit. Loss of 6. Panthers behind the chains on third down. Fastball. Contact there. And no penalty marker down. Incomplete pass. Brandon Williams got bumped just a little bit as the ball arrived. So Nortman on the punt, and that is TJ Graham to try to return it. No fair catch signal, and Graham's going to pay a penalty for it. Philly Brown quickly downfield, delivering the contact. So we take a break, middle third quarter, Bank of America Stadium. The score remains 13-6, Buffalo. And at home, some of the great moments in Carolina Panther history celebrated on our preseason telecast during this, the 20th year of Panther football. Bryce Brown, modest gain. Anderson Russell made the hit. 4 yards on first down. Thad Lewis. Short range pass complete to Bryce Brown. 11-yard gain in the first down. DJ Smith hit him. So you've got a lot of firsts for a franchise, and they're all important. Dom Capers, the first head coach, currently the D coordinator still at Green Bay. John Casey, the first unrestricted free agent. The first player traded for, Barry Foster, who failed a physical and never even made the club. Some of the first in Panther history. Michael Bates, the first All-Pro. Kevin Green, also one of the first. And Sam Mills, too. First All-Pro team. First Panthers to make it. Bates, Green, and Mills making that man, Mr. Jerry Richardson, and his wife, Rosalind, to his right, extremely proud. Mike, everybody that has worked for the Panthers or played for them certainly could tell a personal story about Mr. Richardson's outreach, couldn't they?
Oh, absolutely. It's kind of like this organization has been ran like a family. He interacts with the players and his family, and they mean a lot to me and what they've done for me and helping me grow to be a young man. And you tip your hat off to his family because they have impacted this community greatly.
To mean a lot to a player that the owner played in the NFL and knows what you think and feel like during a game?
Absolutely, because you can have conversation and you're not going to fool him. I mean, when him and his wife are looking at the game, they're looking at that offensive defensive line because they know that's where it starts and it ends.
Exactly. They like sitting. In fact, that's why they sit in the end zone, so they can watch true football. On third down and short, Bryce Brown's sword gets blunted by Bené Benwickery. Just short of the first down. Benwickery out of San Jose State. 5th round draft choice. Good young prospect.
Well, the Panthers have done a great job. There's a couple of big plays that they gave up, but these last 2 plays, they've given themselves a shot in getting this third down right here, and they're short. So you're going to make the Bills put their foot to it.
Check in with our Krispy Kreme sweet tweet of the game. The third one tonight, this one from Oswald Wilson. Think of measuring your TVs in square feet. The ones at Bank of America Stadium, 11,000 square feet of brilliantly lit LED. He's exactly right. The punt is away. And it's a bomb. Penalty flag down. Barner, a little too much glaze on that Krispy Kreme donut on the return. And he's hit down hard. 55-yard punt, no return.
During the kick, holding, number 37 of the return team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Yeah, we talked about Barner, making some great choices, but just too much dancing going on that play right there.
So we'll be back with more Carolina Panther Buffalo Bill football after this word from your local Panthers station.
Welcome back to Bank of America Stadium. The score, 13 Bills, Panthers 6. I'm down here on the field with Panthers quarterback Derek Anderson, DA, as all your teammates like to call you. Nice job out there. How'd it feel?
Thank you. Yeah, it was good. It was good to get out there, kind of get a little bit of rhythm, make a few plays, and stay clean. Line did a great job.
Talk about that catch by Kelvin Benjamin. He came up with that in the end zone. Wow.
It was. I think it would have been a lot easier had he not tripped. But he made a great play, and obviously, getting the ball just somewhere around him, he's going to make those plays for us all year.
What's it been like during training camp? We see Benjamin coming up with all these plays. How special can this receiver be?
I think it'll be really good. Obviously, there's still a lot of work to do. He's got a lot to learn. Continue to keep grinding on it, and we'll see what happens.
I know this offseason you re-signed with the Panthers for a few more years, but you had offers from other teams. You said you like this city. Your wife loves this city. Happy wife, happy life, right? Yeah. And you have a new baby on the way.
Yeah, we got a little one coming any day, really, in the next couple of weeks. So we're both excited about it. Yeah, she loves it here. Obviously the fans, the city. We live downtown. It's pretty special.
What's it like playing with Cam?
I love it. Every day is something new. He always brings so much energy to the meeting rooms, to practice. And then the days he doesn't have it, I got to bring it.
Do you guys ever get serious? Because it seems like there's a lot of laughing, a lot of goofing around out here.
No, there is. There's a time and a place to mess around and joke, but there is a lot of serious meeting time and times in there when it's buckle down and learn.
Yeah, what's it like having him and some of the other guys just cheering everybody on? You guys are still into this game.
Oh yeah. Obviously we understand what the preseason's about. It's getting our whole football team better, and it's fun to root for the young guys and hope they do well.
All right, thanks so much, Derek.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Guys.
Good job, Kelly. Thank you, DA. Meanwhile, on third down and medium, Marvin McNutt runs an out cut. And Webb gives him the ball for 6. Mario Butler bumped him out. You like Derek Anderson as a player, Mike?
I really do. And, obviously him having the opportunity to go somewhere else, and he stayed here to be a backup, obviously that tells you what this organization and what this city means to him. Because he has the talent. He showed it. He's shown it every preseason, but he's shown it tonight to be able to move the ball down the field. Like you said, the offense, he gave them credit, the offensive line in protecting him. But he's got that long ball too, and he can move. Hey, he took off and got a couple first downs with those feet.
Good basketball player back in his day as well, at about 6 feet 6 inches tall. The punt rolls out of bounds, and we'll take a short break. Carolina Panther, Buffalo Bills football. The Bills still holding an 8-point lead. That is Luke August Kuechly, one of the great zone drop pass coverage linebackers in football, and he had to do it all year in 2013, Mike.
Hey, the list just keeps going and going. You got the player of the year, all pro, led the team in tackles, interceptions. So he's not only tackling, but he's ball hawking and grabbing the ball out of the air also.
Jeff Toole, meanwhile, the new Buffalo quarterback, hands to Anthony Dixon. Down at training camp, Coach Rivera talking in very glowing terms about what Luke Kuechly has done and what he is capable of doing. Kuechly himself says that he thinks he can get a lot better. Toole to Dixon, just short of the line to gain at the 45. So what does Luke Kuechly himself think about the awards that he's garnered so far?
You don't get that award by yourself. There's 10 other guys on your defense, coaches, and that puts you in a situation to succeed. And I think the D-line did a good job. I think the guys in the back can do a good job of communicating, so the linebackers on the same page with them. I don't think you get to that necessarily by yourself, and that's one thing that I always try to keep in mind, is that there's always somebody that helps you get there, and you got to keep in mind them too.
Back shoulder throw, that little fade stop to TJ Graham is effective, wrestling it away from Josh Thomas for a first down for Buffalo, an 11-yard pickup.
Josh Norman, he's in good position. He just got to get that hand inside the double hands of that receiver, and he'll be able to pull that thing out.
Buffalo up 7, 13-6. And a fresh series of downs for Jeff Toole. Lofts it, end zone, intercepted. Norman. He was bound to get one. Seems like every preseason he does this. Norman taking it right away from Marcus Easley to give the Panthers the ball as Carolina is still down 7. Buffalo with the lead still by 7. Bud Light presents Around the League a look at some of the other scores in preseason action tonight. Atlanta taking the lead over Miami. Hard to imagine Mike Smith, Matt Ryan having another down year this year. Jacksonville and Tampa Bay still in a tight one. Philadelphia by a touchdown over Chicago. And the Saints trailing the Rams by 1. Play pass. Webb looking for King. He's got it. Mario Butler covering, but the Panthers take a big bite in the passing game. 52 yards.
Holding, number 63, offense. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Yeah, that really hurts when you have a big play like that, and to get that holding call. That's when that offensive lineman wants to kind of, wants to get away for a while. Joe Webb did a great job in staying with the play action fake and staying in the pocket and delivering that ball. It's just a shame that it's got to come back.
It breaks your heart, doesn't it, when you're a
really
rookie
does.
Quarterback trying to make an impression. Tavares King in his second year out of Georgia. The guilty individual, if we're to believe Walt Anderson's number identification, which of course we will, is 63 David Foucault, Canadian offensive lineman from Montreal.
He feels real small right now, knowing that that big play's got to come back because of him.
An expensive penalty. The yardage that you don't gain, -10. So on 1st and 20. King again. Butler still checking him. Got a couple. 2nd down and 18. King, Mike, one of in a group of receivers. There's some quality there. Benjamin has caught everything at practice and at training camp. He and Cam Newton about 13 feet of quarterback wide receiver tandem.
False start, number 64, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Ryan Folkerts, they call him Caveman Center. In fact, some of his teammates heard him called Caveman Center for so long that they thought that was his name, and introduced him recently to some other people as Caveman Center, like his last name was Center.
Well, I mean, the hair kind of gives away, and the beard, kind of gives that caveman, feel. But, he had a false start right there, and it just backs the team up even further.
2nd and long. Webb, a blue darter to King near side. King and Butler having quite a battle. 18-yard pickup.
This is great protection from the offensive line, bouncing back and actually giving themselves a chance to win in this down. They pick up the game, and it allows their quarterback Webb to be able to launch that ball down the field. Allows King to be able to give them an opportunity to get that first down. Sometimes as a quarterback, you need to find that receiver that you connect with, and it seems like it's Tavares King right now.
King and Philly Brown, 2 of the first to leave the huddle. 1st and 10, Carolina. Webb taking it himself. Jimmy Gaines ran him down.
That play just keeps that defense honest. I mean, when you have an athletic quarterback like Webb that can
They could throw the ball too, but they is able to run. Just quarterback keeper, just something simple. You fake the defensive end, and you're able to pick up 5-6 yards.
That's ideal. I mean, 4 yards or more rushing.
Do that all day.
Yep.
As long as my quarterback can handle it.
Webb got 6 there. Two on the play clock. And a 5-yard penalty.
Delay of the game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Coach Rivera not happy with that. I mean, when you look at this drive, you have a holding call, and some coaches say, okay, we'll let that pass, but a false start and delay of game, that's a mental error, and now mental errors, we call them MEs, will drive a coach crazy. You're penalizing yourself, and it has nothing to do with your athletic ability. You're giving them free yardage.
Coach Rivera, that Neanderthal ridge, that brow, man, he's not in the mood for any chit-chat over there right now. Darren Reeves got stoned and thrown backward. Well, Panther football is back, and that makes some of our sweet tweeters happy. Just seeing the jerseys on the field lights NC Mason jar up. Our sweet tweets brought to you by Krispy Kreme, where every Monday after the Panthers win, you can get a dozen original glaze for just $3.99 at Krispy Kreme. You get that sugar buzz going, and you feel 10 feet tall. Short drop by Webb. And an accurate throw, Tavares King. King and Webb are dancing divinely.
And we said it earlier. They have something going, and they're going to keep going to offensive line again, given the time to throw that ball down the field. And these big plays, these big chunk yards, it gets everybody excited, okay? And so it keeps the excitement going, and you're able to move the ball.
Yeah, this drive started with a penalty that nullified an explosive play in the passing game. It was 1st and 20, and the Panthers are persevering. Philly Brown laid out for it and could not bring it in as the third quarter ends at Bank of America Stadium. When we come back, quarter number 4. First, this word from your local Panther station. We're in the fourth quarter, 15 minutes left to play, and things can definitely change in 15 minutes. Check out Geico after the game. In as little as a quarter of an hour, you could save 15% or more on your car insurance. The website, geico.com. And there's your phone number, too, 1-800-947-AUTO. Fourth quarter begins with Joe Webb at the controls. Carolina down 7. Webb 5 of 8 in the second half. 3 of 4 this drive. Panthers have not peed a drop in the running game. Kenyon Barner nowhere to go. Why hasn't the O-line been able to get much of a push tonight, Mike?
That's something that they're going to have to look at film hard, because like we said earlier, this team is known to be able to push people and be able to run the ball. And the lanes have just not opened up today. So that's something that they got to look at really hard. You got to be able to run the ball, and Coach talked about it yesterday. There's going to come a point in time somewhere in the season where they're going to have to either run the clock out or they got to punch it in the end zone.
38 yards rushing tonight so far through 3 stanzas for a team that likes to and can run the football. Here's Fozzie Whitaker right side. Fozzie Whitaker from the University of Texas, a little spark plug back with good hands.
We're not able to really run the ball today, but we're throwing the ball pretty good. And here's a check down in the flats. You just allow your guy to catch the ball and get straight positive yardage up the field.
His given name is Foswhitt, F-O-S-W-H-I-T-T. I wonder why they call him Fozzie.
I love it. I love it. It's just got a ring to it.
It really does. Texas, it seems like, has some good name guys. You remember Frosty Rucker?
Yeah, I do.
King again. Oh, slung down rudely, and that'll draw a penalty flag. Kamal McElwain, a former Carolina Panther. He was on the practice squad here, played at Newberry, and that was something like
Personal
wrestling.
foul, unnecessary roughness, number 41, defense, 15 yards from the end of the play, first down.
Again, Joe Webb continuing to find his receiver. Great catch. You see how he stretched out, used his hand, and walked in. One of the emphasis this year is definitely going to take care of players and their safety, and that thrown down to the ground was not needed, and they're going to throw that flag quickly.
Something off of Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling from back in the day. Doug Marrone, a little bit more to be happy about perhaps tonight than Coach Ron Rivera will break it down for you more in this quarter. Right now, 1st and 10, Carolina in good shape. Webb backs out of there, hit from behind, keeps his balance and aborts the play. Panthers in the red zone. The CPI Security Systems red zone numbers pretty good last year.
Yeah, when you're in the top 10 in this league in anything is good. You know, touchdown percentage, about punching the ball in the end zone and getting points on the board. That's what wins ball games. So this is a great opportunity for a young quarterback to see if they can't get this into the end zone.
And all of that last year came with the 29th ranked passing game in the NFL. Webb keeping it himself. Getting a little shovey in there for extra yardage. He just tells Jimmy Gaines, get off me, meat.
I think when you, as an offensive lineman or a ball player, when you see your quarterback lay his helmet down and keep his feet driving, you know, I thought he was a running back the way he was driving his feet. Look at Cam. Cam's like, I see it. Yeah, I like that.
3rd down and short. You could keep 3 quarterbacks. It's not done much since you don't get the exception for the 3rd quarterback now. But Webb is versatile. Darren Reeves disappears into some blue jerseys, close to the goal line. Not quite there.
I think this time in the game, 4th quarter, guys are tired. The coaches know that you're tired. This is when you really catch a coach's eye. When you're a quarterback making a run, making a throw. If you're a running back, yards after contact, he gets hit right at the line of scrimmage, he drives another 4 yards. That's when you turn the head of a coach.
13th play coming in a drive that started with poor field position after a 10-yard penalty.
As a defensive guy, 13 plays will wear you out.
Reeves off the Zordich block. Touchdown, but a penalty marker down.
Illegal shift, offense, 2 men moving and not resetting, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Eighth Carolina penalty tonight, and meanwhile an injured Panther.
Don't want that.
All right, let's take a break. Early 4th quarter, Buffalo 13, Carolina 6. Tight end Mike McNeil possibly rolled up on, and that's Ryan Vermillion, the head athletic trainer, ministering to him right now.
Well, it's good to see that he's walking. You know, that's the first thing. Guys walking off on his own power. We'll get him back there and check him out.
Joe Webb gives the Panthers the play, the snap count, puts his mouthpiece in. 1st and goal from the 6. Reeves scores, and it's 13-12.
It's a great job by this offensive line. Look at the offensive line move the line of scrimmage and they seal off the end. That allows Reeves just to bounce to the outside and kind of backpedal, moonwalk, whatever you want to call it, into the end zone.
Reeves a little bit like a D'Angelo Williams look-alike. Skill set very similar. So the Panthers will go for 2 to try to take the lead away from Buffalo.
This is a great time to go for 2. You know, your preseason, you want to see how this works. You want to see the play that you have worked on in the offseason to see if this works, to use it in the regular season in case you do need 2 points.
Reeves a single setback. Fade route, McNutt. Pushed out of bounds. Michael Carter went up with him. Good idea, though. And so the Panthers do not convert, and it is a 1-point game. Carolina to within 1 against visiting Buffalo. (13-12) Buffalo. The Belk scoring drive was a cut above because it featured a play, Mike Rucker, by the quarterback, Joe Webb, that, as you pointed out, seemed to really ignite the entire squad.
He did, and there was a couple penalties to try to dampen that, but they fought through it. 13 plays. They almost chewed up almost 8 minutes off the clock. Those are the kind of drives, as an offensive coordinator and Coach Shula, you love to see. They fought through adversity in some of the penalties, and they found a way to get the ball down the field.
Probably gained about 115 yards on the drive because they kept having to regain yardage.
That is true.
After penalties. Shortish kickoff by Gay. Graham comes up and takes it. Wide open field in front of him. Knocked out of bounds by Carrington Bindum. 39-yard return. Beautiful night in Uptown Charlotte for a preseason game. Number 1. Back after this word from your local Panther station. Buffalo up 13-12. Stats after 3 quarters. Actually, up-to-date stats now are brought to you by Bank of America. Mike Rucker, how do these numbers hit you?
Well, I think after the halftime, you know, with the Panthers being able to score some points off the turnover, and they've been able to get some big, long passing plays, which they struggled with last year, but now they're able to get that ball down the field, so that's definitely an improvement in the passing game.
Jeff Toole hands off up inside Anthony Dixon. Couple of yards. Here's Kelly Bardick with the injury update on Mike McNeil. What happened, Kel?
Hey, the Panthers tight end is out with a right knee sprain. He was over here with the trainer Ryan Vermillion checking on his knee, and it was interesting just to see the players gathered around. Thomas Davis, who's come back from 3 torn ACLs on the same knee, was the first one over here checking on his teammate. But so far, it's a right knee sprain. He will not return to the game.
McNeil, a veteran, spent 3 years with the Rams. Good blocking tight end, almost in the Ben Hartsock mode. Hartsock was here for a couple of years. First down for Buffalo after an 8-yard gain. There's Mike McNeil. Doesn't look to be in great pain. With those sunflower seeds.
Yeah, I don't know if it was sunflower seeds or, you know, he was just discouraged. I mean, when you get that injury, I mean, it just stinks. You know that it's going to take a while to bounce back maybe.
Seems that one little hiccup when you're trying to make the team especially can cost you.
See our middle linebacker, he's going to go to the right and fill that hole. That's what a middle linebacker is supposed to do. He's supposed to read the flow. Hey, if the guy doesn't come block you, you just go and make the tackle.
Ben Jacobs. Jacobs and DJ Smith battling hard for a 5th linebacker spot. Toole looks left, goes right hash, incomplete. Chris Summers, the target. Oh no, did he catch it? Yeah, I think he did bring it in. Bud Light presents Around the League. A look at scores in week 1 of the preseason. No changes in the Eagles game, no changes in the Vikings-Raiders game. Saints have taken the lead over the Rams. Toole flushed, has the first down, and Slides feet first to protect himself. 4 yards running for Jeff Toole.
D-line is man-to-man, and when you know that you're in defense and you're in man-to-man, you've got to crush the pocket. You can't be as loose with your pass rush because the quarterback can't score it out and get the first down like Toole just did.
Bryce Brown, 10, 11, 12 yards, and a first down.
The linebacker filled the fullback and filled the hole really well. The second guy comes in free, the free safety comes the wrong side and allows that running back to squirt out the backside of that play and get a big chunk of yards. This is unlike Panther football. Panther football is stopping the run, and it's in the fourth quarter. Guys are tired. This is where you got to suck up and make plays.
Brown again. Another first down. Anderson Russell hit it. No matter who's, even if it's second and third team guys, Panthers want to have better gap control than this.
Absolutely, and it doesn't matter, like you said, if it's third, fourth team, because you're going against the same quality guys on the other side of the ball, and that's how you're going to be judged and measured. At the end of the day, every defense is designed to stop the run, and you got to stay in your gap. You cannot do somebody else's job.
14-yard gain after a 12-yard rush the play before. Dixon tripped up, and down he goes. Coney Ely. How have the Bills done in the red zone so far tonight? Here are the numbers courtesy of the CPI Security Systems red zone look. 2 trips, 1 touchdown. Knocking again. On second down. To the 1.
That's just great effort from the Buffalo Bills offensive line. I mean, they seal everybody. They got a hat on a hat, and they just wanted it more. You had 2 Panther defensive guys that had a shot at the ball. Running back goes over the top, airborne. This is all about 1-2 when you get down here.
Ball touching down just at the mouth of the goal line. Buffalo thinks that that was a touchdown, and they will challenge this. Results of the challenge upcoming as Buffalo still nursing a 1-point lead. The 2 head coaches, Ron Rivera on your right, and then Coach Doug Marrone on the left, both looking to see whether Anthony Dixon did or did not score on this play. The elbow down means that he's down, so it'd be where the ball was when he touches down. What do you think, Ruck?
I think he's going to be short.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. The runner was short.
Hey, there we go. Let the record show that Mike is 1 out of 1.
1 out of 1. I like those odds.
So the Panthers have to D up now. 3rd and goal from that close. About a mouthpiece away from a touchdown.
Well, in this situation, you got to look at the quarterback just trying to pull out and just either just push his way in or try to jump over and just stick the ball out.
Give it to Dixon. Let him go up top again. He can jump. But he doesn't take off. And thought he might have lost the football for a second, but he just did not make it. It'll be 4th down. Coney Ely the first to hit him.
That's great for the young rookie. You talk about getting your emotions up. This is about mano a mano. This is a 1-2 play. You got linebackers back there. You got defensive ends back there. Great job by this Panther defense and their defensive line of changing the line of scrimmage.
4th and goal from just inside the 1. Summers makes the touchdown catch.
That was a great catch. It almost looked like he was going to be short. And just as he pulls the ball back in, he crosses the goal line.
Pretty good throw by Jeff.
It's just a little rollout, trying to change and get your quarterback on the move. Just barely gets into the end zone with that catch. This is a different angle. When he catches the ball, it's outside of the goal line. But as he tumbles and falls back, he's able to get across.
19-12 Buffalo with the PAT pending. Carpenter draws down on it. Good. 20-12. 5:46 to play from Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte with the score Buffalo 20 and the Panthers 12. Sweet tweets coming in from all over the place, brought to you by Krispy Kreme. Edgar Salmingo, the first half Kelvin Benjamin was as hot as a box of Krispy Kreme donuts. Speaking of KB, another KB, Kelly Bardick, is down on the field with him live.
Thanks, Vic. That's right. KB to KB. I'm here with Kelvin Benjamin, Panthers rookie. Tell me, your first NFL taste. How'd it go?
It was great. It was great to get out here with the teammates and come out here and show who's gonna make plays. So it can help us during the season. It's a preseason game. Just looking forward to the next one. Kansas City coming up. Just gonna go back and prepare with the team and get ready for them.
Speaking of making plays, you made a pretty nice play in the end zone. Cam Newton's right over your shoulder, by the way. You made a nice catch. Talk about that. Derek Anderson told me it would have been a lot prettier if you hadn't tripped, though.
Yeah. If I would have tripped, I would have went over your head and got it. But a touchdown is a touchdown. So I always tell my quarterbacks, no matter where's the ball at, as long as I come down with the catch and make the touchdown for them, we all good.
Definitely. What do you think of Cam Newton on the sideline? He's cheering you guys on. He's your biggest cheerleader out there.
He's the biggest cheerleader. He know he's the cheerleader. I don't know. I think it's just some Auburn people. But he's a great teammate, man. He's a great quarterback, great guy to be around. Personally, one of my great friends. He's gonna be the biggest cheerleader on the sideline to cheer the team on.
You guys are kind of BFFs already, but Jericho Cottrell referred to you as Cam's little brother. Kind of feel that way so far?
I don't think I'm Cam's little brother now. I don't know now.
Are you saying you're Cam's big brother?
I don't know. We might be twins. Man, we great, man. It is great, though. It's a great organization for me to come to and to build a relationship with Cam, though, man. I'm just having fun with it.
How do you like the receiving corps in general? What are you learning?
I love it, man. I got the two best vets in the game. They teach me actually how to play the game. And we got a lot of young guys like King, Midnight out there making plays, And that's what it's about. About making plays right now and trying to find your place on the team.
Are you adjusting to the program?
Oh, yeah. I'm just having fun with it. It's football at the end of the day.
What do you think about your receivers coach?
Man, Rick, what? I got the best receiver coach in the world, man. I love him, though, man. He played the game for, 16, 17 years, and that's just a lot of experience, So you can learn from that.
Finally, I have to ask you about the national championship game. We've already had people coming over here showing their FSU T-shirts off. What was it like making that catch, knowing that everybody knew the ball was coming to you?
Like I said, just going to get it for your quarterback, going to get it for your team, going to get it for your school, going to get it for your family, just going to get it for the fans. And just coming out with that catch and it made a relief. All that work we put in for the season, it paid off.
I know Panthers fans are hoping to see some big catches like that when the games really count. Calvin, thank you so much for joining me down here.
All right, thank you.
And Mike and Mick, back to you.
Thank you, Kelly. And most people, your height is equal to your reach and vice versa. In Kelvin Benjamin's case, he stands 6'5", but he has an 83-inch reach. That's going to help him play this game.
And I think he knows it, too, because he said if he didn't trip, he would have went over the top of that guy.
Joe Webb, like a border collie, changing direction, herding wayward sheep, dancing out of bounds near sideline. Took a little of nothing and made something out of it.
Great job. You can't teach this. This is just natural. And the feet work that he makes this play and gets the first down. Great job by the offensive line. All of a sudden he gets a little pressure, but he finds a way to get out of it and gets the first down on top of it. And look who's the first person to greet him, Cam Newton.
A lot of energy and electricity over on the sideline. And Joe Webb supplying a good deal of it. Oh, tip pass almost picked. Panthers are lucky that's not going the other way.
Definitely got lucky with this one. Guy was definitely covered and got lucky with it. This DB just dropped the ball.
Pass intended for Tony Clemens. Juwan Harley bobbled it and couldn't make the play. So it'll be second down and 10. Webb with room and time. Chucks it to Brockle. We update the Belk Player Watch, which is focused tonight on Brandon Williams. And Mike Rucker, he's been productive.
He has, not only in special teams, but I mean, he's been targeted 5 times. He gets 2 catches for 19 yards, and as a tight end, when you're known to be a blocking tight end and you get the opportunity to be able to catch the ball, he squeezed it a couple times and got almost 20 yards off of it.
Quite a backstory. Has come back from cervical stenosis, which can end some careers in football.
Here's a couple look at his play tonight. Nice little catch right there, getting upfield with that big body, not going down easy. That's what you're looking for in a tight end. Not only can he block, but he can catch the ball too.
Played college basketball, was a security guard. Impressed the Panthers at a tryout camp, and he's still dreaming the dream.
I mean, it's a great story. A guy that says, you know what, I have a dream and I'm not going to give up on it. I'm going to keep fighting and I'm going to keep scratching to find my way into the National Football League. If I got to be a security guard, so be it. That's what I'm going to do. And he has found a way onto this football team.
You know what his teammates call him? Here's his nickname. Swole.
When you get up to him, you don't know if he's a tight end or a defensive end.
Panthers down 8. Still thinking drive down and tie the game with a touchdown and a PAT. Webb to Polaris.
Offensive line has done a great job as far as pass protection and giving, their quarterbacks, and then particularly right now, Joe Webb, the time to get the ball down the field.
Webb in 2 minutes. Looking for Marcus Lucas, incomplete.
What I really like about this receiving corps, they might be young, but they're tall. They're big. And not only are they able to catch the ball, but they're also going to be asked to block. And so when you have big receivers like that, and they're blocking in the run game should improve coming out of this preseason.
Joe Webb on second down.
False start, number 60. Offense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Ninth penalty for Ron Rivera's Panthers tonight.
He will not be happy about that.
majority of them are things that can be easily corrected because it's all mental. A lot of times in the fourth quarter, you get tired, you're sweaty, you're hurting, you're tired from training camp, and you start to get a little loose in the mind, so you got to tighten that up.
Second and long. Webb with the deep drop. Threw it just a little behind Polaris crossing. And Webb was belted down after the throw. So it'll be third down. Ike Igbinosun. Interesting to see what kind of season Buffalo has.
You know, they've got some tools. Their defense on paper, when you look at their defense, especially their front seven and their defensive line, they've got some talent. They've got a lot of talent.
That's their D coordinator, Jim Schwartz, former head coach of the Detroit Lions. Panthers 9 of 15 on third downs today. Buffalo gets a quick takeoff on the pass rush. Ball's out of there, though. Philly Brown clocked over on the far sideline after a 6-yard gain. We are at the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play in preseason game number 1. More football after this word from your local Panther station. Core Bank of America Stadium. The Subway footlong play of the game. Derek Anderson to the rookie Kelvin Benjamin for the touchdown.
Yeah, I think this is definitely, the catch. I mean, to have your first touchdown, there's no better way to be able to trip, make a shoestring catch into the end zone.
Then, of course, he comes off and gets a face full of Cam Newton.
Hopefully these two will be locking arms and high-fiving for a lot of years to come.
Big play here, obviously, fourth down. 10 yards to go. 4 on the play clock. Webb caught by Williams, but someone junctioned him right at the catch.
Prior to the pass, holding, number 47, defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Michael Carter.
That's a great play, a great break for this Panthers offense. Getting the first down. Now they have an opportunity. They're running their 2-minute inside the 40-yard line. You score, get you 2, and you tie this thing up.
It is a good break because it looked like Webb's pass to Williams would have been caught short of the first down step. So the drama continues. Under 2 minutes. First and 10 Panthers. Keep pounding play of the game this season. The Panthers continue to honor Sam Mills. So here's what the keep pounding player of the game looks like. It's Joe Webb, 13 of 23, 130 yards, and the indomitable spirit that he's brought tonight has been uplifting.
I think he definitely helped himself tonight, with his feet and with his arms. He made some great throws, and he made some great plays with his feet. I definitely think that he's caught some coaches' eyes, and they're going to want to see more of him next week.
Webb's had the Midas touch on third downs, too. 7 of 10 second half, thanks in no small part to Webb. But he can't make any magic there on second down. Did you know Sam Mills?
I did. I didn't get to play with him, but my rookie year, he was a coach, and I tell you what, the knowledge that he brought into that defensive meeting room was tremendous. And beyond that, he was just a great guy to talk to, whether it was about life or about football. I was able to, his son, little Sam, was a D-line, coach with us and helped us up and watch him groom. He's still with the organization, and just a tremendous guy.
Third down and long. This the 15th play of this Panther drive. Webb, end zone, touchdown, Brandon Williams. "31 yards. Carolina's to within 2.
These are two guys that we've just talked about and highlighted. Williams, being able to block and then catch the ball down the field, and then Joe Webb, what he's done with his feet and what he's done with his arm. What a tremendous throw from the pocket and delivered a touchdown throw.
Webb's arm strength is incredible. Panthers are going for two. This would tie it. From 2 yards out.
This is a great opportunity for Webb to maybe buy some time with his feet and maybe just run it in himself. Things break down.
That sprint right pass never had a chance. It short hops Philly Brown.
That's a bummer. You saw Buffalo run a similar play. It was just a little bit of a rollout. This is the touchdown pass to Williams, Brandon Williams in the end zone. Great protection and great arm strength to throw that ball down the middle. Here's another look. Look at that. It's on the money. Only person catching that is Brandon Williams.
And Webb was kept clean too. Even after he threw the ball, nobody touched him.
Here you see Brandon right there at the tight end position. Go straight down the middle in this cover two. And that's how you hurt a cover two, by going down the middle of the field. And he's a big target. Brandon Williams is a big target. And he had a great catch, a great pass to catch.
So the Belk scoring drive. 15 plays, 80 yards, 4:09 elapsed. And unfortunately, it did not culminate with the exclamation point of a two-point conversion that the Panthers were desirous of.
But again, 15-play drive. Early on, you had a 13-play drive. Those are the kind of drives that you're looking for from your offense.
Your onside kick here.
It gives you an opportunity to work on that, because the preseason is a preseason. You want to get in as many situations as possible that you could take back to the meeting rooms tomorrow to go over those situations. So if you want to get a look at your 2-minute drill, you kick it off. If you want to get a look at your onside kick, can we get this? That's another opportunity right here for them to be able to do that.
Jordan Gay, the kicker. We're back in a week. We're off. Your humble broadcast crew, your Panthers Television Network crew, off next week. And then we reconvene for the Panthers at the Patriots Friday night, 7:30. Can't wait to see you here then for that.
Looks like we're going to get the onside kick try.
Gay tops it. Ball loose. Ben Jacobs might have gotten it. He did. The rare onside kick recovery, and here's how it looked.
Well, he got the ball up in the air, and the guy just came up short and allowed it to hit the short hop on him and hit the ground. It gave the Panthers onside kick team an opportunity to get the ball. You can never have enough white jerseys around the ball. You see Jacobs 53 right there. Goes in his hands and pops back out, but he's fortunate enough he was able to wheel that thing back in. So again, your offense gets another opportunity, a 2-minute drill with 1:33 left on the clock.
Torrey Gurley for Buffalo had a great chance at it. Ball squirted away from him. Does he ever calm down, I wonder?
He's always smiling. His jaw muscles got to be sore.
So the Panthers not dead yet. Down 2, 1:33 to go. Webb back to work. Dumps it off right side. Fozzie Whitaker. Whitaker trying to get out of bounds. Can't quite make it. Of course, if you need a field goal here, remember Graham Gano is out. So it would be Jordan Gay.
Yeah, that's a great point. What is his range? And that's what special teams,
coach has got to know what kind of range they need to get into.
Webb slings it. Sliding catch. Made at the 42-yard line. Marcus Lucas. Picked up 14 and another first down. Timeout at a minute to play.
Again, the offensive line doing a great job of not allowing the defensive line to even get close to their quarterback in Joe Webb. And then again, here we talk about big receivers. You got Marcus Lucas out of Missouri, a big, strong receiver, bringing that ball down and getting the ball over the 50.
Jordan Gay alone with his thoughts.
Might be a little bit of pressure right there.
Mouth may be starting to dry out a little.
Cotton mouth right there going on.
Panthers need about 10, 12 more yards to get into his range. Quick slant, bobbled, and picked off. Marcus Lucas had the first touch. Jonathan Meeks knifed in and grabbed it.
Well, this Panther team has had a lot of opportunities, and they missed this one right here. Marcus Lucas, he just made a great catch, and this one just hit him right in the breadbasket. All he's got to do is squeeze it and fall to the ground if he wants to. But he fought the ball and tried to keep it alive, and it just bounced into the defender's hands.
Just off of his hip. He'd make that catch
9 out of 10 times.
Yeah. So Buffalo can kneel it out. On the plus side, your Ford drive of the game. Here's the play that ignited it. Houdini act by Joe Webb. It went 80 yards, 15 plays. And Mike, here's the touchdown pass.
I just really like it because everything worked. I mean, as a quarterback and as an offensive coordinator in Shula, you cannot draw that play that much better. Cover 2, you slide your tight end down the middle, and that was a good look from Brandon Williams. He's got to be happy tonight with this performance.
Williams, a sturdy tight end like a Ford F-150. The crew cab and that Triton V8. We're back in 2 weeks for more Panther football on your Panthers television network. The unhappy total tonight from Bank of America, Buffalo 20 and Carolina 18. Two head coaches, Ron Rivera and Doug Marrone, two good friends, talking it over at midfield.
Carolina Panthers football is being brought to you by Pepsi, official soft drink partner of the Panthers, and all for the Carolinas. By Bank of America, the official bank of the Carolina Panthers. By Bojangles, your official tailgating headquarters of the Carolina Panthers. It's bow time. By Sakrete. No matter what projects are in your lineup, Sakrete has the right concrete and masonry products for the job. Use what the pros use. Ask for Sakrete at your local home improvement store. And by Miller Lite, back in its original look. It's Miller time.
So that's our broadcast tonight for Mike Rucker, Kelly Bardick, and me, Mick Mixon. Also on behalf of the best TV production crew currently drawing air into their lungs. Good night from Charlotte with a final score. Carolina trailing and losing to the Buffalo Bills 20-18 in preseason game number 1.